Hey everyone, it's Margo here at My Favorite Quilt Store, and we are getting ready to start the solar flare sew along. So I wanted to get you to get together some of the things we're going to need to do this particular project. So first off, you're going to need the kit or all of your fabric for the kit. So once you have the kit, we're going to go through the things we're going to need. So beyond the kit, we're going to need some sort of an edge to do paper piecing with, to put the ruler against for when we're cutting. We need an add-a-quarter ruler. It's probably the easiest thing to use. I'm going to show that method of how to use an add-a-quarter ruler. We need a squaring ruler to cut our blocks up. These blocks are going to finish 11.5 by 11.5. So a 12-inch ruler or 11.5 ruler would be perfect. Or they finish 11.25, so 11.5-inch ruler would be perfect. So 11 or 12-inch ruler, square ruler, is what we need. Paper scissors. Once my scissors get a little older and I can't cut as well with them, I just write paper on them with a Sharpie, so I make sure I have some paper scissors handy. We're going to need some flathead pins and some removable tape. So this is what the removable tape used to look like, that you might be able to find at your house or something. They no longer sell this in the stores. The way I was able to find it was on Amazon. I bought a roll in here, and then I bought a holder for 58 cents, put them together, and made my own roll of removable tape. But I might have to put on there this removable tape. I got a gray one so that maybe I would remember that it's removable tape, but probably in 2 years I won't be able to remember that. Then here at the store we also got this purple tape called highlighter tape that's removable tape that you can put in books, on paper. It's archival. It won't get old, it won't get crusty. So we also have this tape for sale online and in purple. So those are the tapes. You're going to need some sort of removable tape in case you make a mistake, because the chances are we're going to make a mistake. I try my best not to, but sometimes I always have a little bit of a mistake that I make. So the first thing I want you to do is when you open your pattern is I want you to look. There's really only two blocks that we're going to be making. This first one, this one at the top that has the ray at the bottom is the main block, and it's the first block in our section of the middle four that we're going to be doing first, the orange and the yellow ones. So that is our first block that we're going to be doing, is this one. And then this is the secondary block that does the setting triangles. So there's really only two blocks in this whole quilt. So just so you know that this quilt, this paper only comes, and this is only in the kit. We cannot sell it to you separately, and you cannot get more if something happens. So my first suggestion is to take this to Kinko's and make a copy of one of them, so that in case something happens and you mess up, that you have a boo-boo piece that you can come back to. If you can't take it to Kinko's because you don't have that big of a printer, what I would do is mark a 1-inch square a couple of places on here, on all the four sides. Do this in your regular printer, and then put it together, and then make sure it measures exactly 1 inch on each of these so that nothing is distorted in this block. So that's what I would do, is I would definitely make some sort of copy of this, so that in case something happens, you will have a fallback plan, because you have to have these papers to do the paper piecing. So if you make a mistake, we use the removable tape to put on top of this to keep your paper together, so that you can reuse the paper and remove your mistake from it. So, but anyway, I suggest making a copy of one of these pieces so that you have a fallback plan to copy off of or to do something with in case you mess them up. So the next thing we're going to do is after we look at the pattern and get our pattern pieces set up, you can also cut those apart, and I would label. What I'm going to do is I'm going to label mine. I'm going to take 4 of them and say they're 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I know which ones are center 1, center 2, center 3, center 4. So that when I'm making the block, it's going to be easier for me to know which way the fabrics go and which one I'm working on. So there's also a color chart inside here that tells you what the colors are, and cutting instructions. So around the outside of this, there's a color wheel of 4-inch squares. So those will be cut. I would cut those first out of the fabrics as our 4-inch squares that we're going to need. That's what they say to do, is cut one strip of 4.5 inches and subcut it into 4.5 inch squares. Then it says to take, secondly, to cut a 2.5 inch width of fabric and cut it into 2.5 by 9 inch strips. I would leave them in 2.5 inch strips and just leave your strips together so that you know what colors they are and your color range and that kind of stuff. So I would not cut them into 9 inch strips. I would leave them 2.5 inch strips with the fabric. So another thing that I do to keep my fabric straight is in the salvage of the one that I'm using. I will write what color number it is. Like if it's A, I'll use my Sharpie and put color A in it. This is not color A, but I would identify my fabrics by color and put the numbers, write it in the salvage, so that once I've cut the 2.5 inch strips, so that I can manage, so that I can just refer back to the letter that's on the salvage of the fabric, so I always know what fabric I have that I am working on. So that would be another thing. So you need to cut your 2.5 inch strips, your 4.5 inch squares, and get ready to and sort your colors so that you'll know that when you're ready to start with block 1. Next week we're going to be starting with block 1, and we will show you, or 2 weeks we'll show you how we start with block 1. But I want you to get all your supplies together. Again, read through the pattern. Get your paper pieces ready to paper piece with by having an extra copy of it in case we make a mistake. Get your ruler together, your quarter ruler, flathead pins, removable tape, and a Sharpie and scissors so that you have everything ready when we're ready to start next week. So anyway, or in a couple of weeks. So anyway, hope that you are going to enjoy this solar flare quilt sew along. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to make this quilt. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys on this, and I will see y'all soon. Happy sewing!